Today I'm going to show you how to roll a slab, which is basically pretty easy. You need to make sure your clay is well wedged, as always, and then you're going to make it into a ball, which I already did, and I just flattened it out a little bit by actually just throwing my clay onto my mat just to maybe get some more air bubbles out and just flatten it out. It's really hard to start rolling clay if you have a big ball or an arch going on your clay. So you want to make sure you have a flattened surface before you get started. So you're going to take a rolling pin, and you really want to make sure that your rolling pin is clean, because whatever is on your rolling pin will make marks on your clay, and then you'll have to smooth that out at the end when you start making your project. And this slab of clay is going to be for a drape bowl that I'm going to show you how to make. So when I'm rolling my clay, I don't like the rolling pins with the handles. If you have a rolling pin with the handles, I recommend that you place your hands on the rolling pin because it's more stable. When you use the handles, the rolling pin rocks back and forth like this, and I think you just get a more even, nice slab when you do that. So when I roll, I'm going to apply my pressure and push forward. When I get to the edge of my clay, I let up the pressure. If I roll right off the end, I'm going to smash my ends, and it's going to be really hard to have a nice, even slab. Also, when I'm rolling out, I like to roll in all different directions to stretch the clay equally, and it makes my slab more even as well. For this project, the Drape Bowl, we need a nice big circle of clay. So I'm going to start rolling it out. Also, when I'm rolling my clay out, I like to turn the clay over every few rolls to see what's going on the other side, if I have any air bubbles that I need to get out, or if my clay is cracking and I need to add water. So right here I can see an air bubble, so I'm just going to take a sharp tool and poke it out. Now you may notice these sticks next to my clay, and the reason why I have those is so I can get a nice even slab as I'm rolling. So I'm just going to show you really quickly. I have another slab rolled out, but you can place the sticks around your clay and roll across those, and that'll help keep your clay nice and even. So this is the slab that I had rolled out prior, and to get this nice round circle, all I did was take this bowl, turn it upside down on my slab, and took a cutting tool and held it nice and straight. You don't want to turn it in on an angle or out on an angle, because you'll get an edge with a bevel on it, and you don't want to have that. So you want to hold your cutting tool nice and straight, go around your clay all the way around, take your bowl off, and then pull the extra clay away. After you cut your circle out, you want to make sure the edges are nice and smooth. So you're going to get a little bit of water, and you're going to go over the edges and smooth them out so you have no sharp, rough edges on your bowl. And if you have, like at this point, if you see any marks on your clay that you don't want to show up on your bowl, you can just take your hands and lightly go over your clay. You can check the other side as well. You want to get rid of any marks you might have from your canvas. So I do have some wrinkles that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to smooth those out. And I want to smooth this edge out as well. When you're flipping your clay over, you want to make sure that you don't stretch your circle out. This is called a drape bowl, so I'm going to drape it over a container. I have a large sour cream container. It doesn't have to be this. It can be any kind of container that you can hang your clay over. before I put my clay on here, I want to put a paper towel on. And that's very important. If you don't have the paper towel, your clay is going to dry and shrink and stick to the container, and you won't be able to get your bowl off. So you really want to make sure that you have this container with a paper towel. Now I'm going to take my clay and put it over the container, and I'm picking up my fabric so I don't pick up my clay by the edge and pull it and stretch it. I'm just going to pick up the fabric. I'm going to set my hand in the middle of my circle and let the clay come off, and then I'm going to put it over my container. At this point, you're just going to have to kind of see how the clay feels in your hand, look on either side, because you're trying to center your circle over the container. And I can see that I'm not centered because this side is touching the table almost and this side is up high. So because I have my paper towel under there, I can easily slide my clay around until I think I'm pretty close to center. And right now I think I'm pretty close to center. So now what I'm going to be doing with my clay is I'm going to make my bowl an organic shape or some sculpting to it. And you can make your bowl look however you want. You can pinch in and out and have lots of waves going in and out like that. You can make larger openings. It's up to you. This is where you get to be creative on how you want your bowl to look. So I'm just going to do some bigger openings and pinches, and if you have a side that you feel like you want to make it stand up a little bit, then you can put some paper towels under there and help support standing it up. I have my drape bowl set up the way I want my bowl to look, and now I have to leave it on the container until it gets leather hard. One of the things I can do is think about the footing and what kind of footing I want to put on it. For my demonstration purposes, I'm going to be really simple and make a coil and attach it to the bottom. But you don't have to do that. You can come up with different kinds of footings. You can be as creative as you want. But for now, I'm just going to roll a coil and I'm going to attach it to the bottom. And then we just have to let our bowls sit and get leather hard. We're going to be, on our drape bowls, we're going to be doing sgraffito, and we're going to be painting either iron oxide or underglaze, or maybe possibly some other materials if we get any other materials in that we can put on there. And we're going to do this to the greenware. And after the iron oxide or whatever treatment you put on there is dry, then we're going to get a sgraffito loop tool and carve our designs into the bowl to make them interesting. We're going to use pattern and texture to decorate our bowls. So I have a coil. And of course, you already know this at this point, we need to score and add slip where we attach 2 pieces of clay. So this is going to be the footing for this bowl, and I'll attach it properly. You don't need to watch me do that because you already know how. And I'm going to let it set and get leather hard. And then I'll show you how to apply the iron oxide and do the sgraffito with the loop sgraffito tool.